Good morning, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the Booking Freight from Home show with your host, Calvin Butler. And this is sponsored by the National Dispatchers Network and the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. Let me go ahead and mute everybody real quick so we don't have that background noise. And go ahead and start sharing our screen. There you go. All right. So this is the Booking Freight from Home show. We want to welcome everybody today. Today is Saturday, 10:15 to 1:15. We're here every Saturday, same back channel, same back time. And today we are broadcasting from my living room. Since this is the Booking Freight from Home show, and we are broadcasting from my living room live. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, broadcasting live on LinkedIn, broadcasting live on Twitter, and of course we're interactively live here in our operational training conference line. So with that being said, let's go on and make sure we get everybody, welcome everybody on. I'm going to unmute everyone so you all can introduce yourselves as we say welcome to you or whatnot. I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Khalid. Hey, Mr. Khalid, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Mr. James Bell, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you so much for joining us, Mr. Bell. Mr. Brian Gibbert, we appreciate you as well. Thank you for joining us today. Al, we have Al in the house. We have Lanier in the house, and we have Mr. Preston Charles in the house. Now, Preston Charles, I'm going to go ahead and give him a shout out because, as you all know, Preston Charles just joined us not too long ago, and he has signed his first carrier. Everybody say, yeah.
All right.
Preston Charles. That's what's going on.
Congratulations. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thanks, guys.
All right.
It's been a fun process.
Yeah, so Mr. Charles has started that ball rolling because, as you all know, with our platform, the very first thing you need to do before you can actually start booking any type of freight is you got to have a carrier. Okay, that's that's part of the first step. Now, the very first step is what? Learning your scripts. Okay, how much money you need to move your truck, learning the dispatch agreement, all that stuff is in your back office. Learn all that type of stuff. Okay, that's what those things are. Okay, and learn your workflow. Okay, but right after that, you got to get started. And what you got to get started doing what? You got to call up the carriers, and you got to pitch them. So, Mr. Charles, let me ask you a question here. When you called up the carrier, about how many carriers did you call before you got your first one?
Well, that's interesting because I know quite a few carriers, and so I started there. And I started there. I got my first carrier it was a guy that I actually knew. So I got kind of lucky, and I've really been banging out my script a lot. That I find that's really important because I've done some light sales before. I'm a business owner. I've worked for myself for years. So talking to people and selling myself is something I've always had to do for years. And so I just had to transition this into freight and selling to carriers. And so I didn't have to make a ton of calls. I haven't gone there yet. I've been spending a lot of time getting organized and studying the script, studying the material, and just really, really getting organized. Because what I'm finding that you can get overwhelmed when I have an office I have available. Everybody don't have an office, but I have an office, and so this is it's a brand new thing for me. And I feel if you don't get organized, you can really get flustered while you're sitting there trying to do all the processes. And everything is a process, And that's just one piece of advice or a suggestion I can give everybody. Try to get as organized as you possibly can be. And it'll be very helpful to you once you start making the calls and taking your notes, because you're gonna have to take notes while you're talking to people on the telephone. You got to take notes. That's important. That goes back to communication. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at.
You know what? You're exactly right. I'm so glad you expressed that and explained that the way you did, because this is a process. And a lot of people, they jump right into this and they expect to just hit the ground running. Well, you got to crawl before you can walk, and especially if you come into this industry and you don't have any experience or background in it. You got to learn your industry. You got to learn your platform. And once you get that information, you learn it, and you learn where to go get your help, and you learn how to use your back office site, and you learn how to use our networking on Facebook, where you all can, because I see y'all on Facebook all the time, and y'all are doing great. You all share information, you share loads, you help each other out. People go on our chat group and they ask all kinds of questions about the industry, about how our platform works, about what to do next. And someone always, I'm not talking about sometimes, someone always steps up and responds and helps you out. And that's and believe it or not, that's probably the most valuable part of our platform. Okay, but we're not going to get into posting our platform. Let's get right into doing some stuff that is going to help you all to become better salespeople and become better at booking freight. Okay, because that's what it's all about. Now, for those of you who don't know, just a quick review. The RBBS Logistics Learning Center does not book freight. That's not what we do. We provide the tools, resources, access to a network and support and everything that you all need to be able to book freight from home. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, we are consultants. We are teachers. We teach you how to work this business, and we show you how to become successful at it. That is the extent of our involvement. Now, and we also process your invoices to help you get paid in a timely fashion. Now, with that being said, let's dive right in. Now, I know that the interns didn't get all of the profiles processed yesterday, because yesterday was Friday, and that's the day that they normally process all profiles. They didn't get around to getting them all done yesterday. Reason why? Because we were swamped. When I say we were swamped, we were swamped. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and yesterday and this week, I normally answer about 50 to 100 calls per day. And I lie to you not. This week I've been answering about 300 or 400 calls. I've had people, and some of you who are on here now, you've called me, and I've had 5 or 6 people on the same line. I'm literally having to do stuff in like a conference type of setting, because so many people are just flooding our lines with wanting to know more about our platform, wanting to know more about booking freight, wanting to know more about starting their own business. And I think a lot of it has to do with what's going on in the world. Okay, this government shutdown is a serious business. Okay, it's serious. For those of you who don't like politics, you better. I guarantee you're taking an interest in politics now. When the government gets to the point where they can't pay you and you still have to work, that's serious. Where they can't inspect your food and your meat, but you still got to buy food and eat it, that's serious. When you can't get the proper security you get at airports and all these places that normally protect you against terrorists, if you think that ain't real, trust me. I was in the military for 10 years and I was in a forward combat unit. So I can tell you for a fact, there is stuff that they find at those airports. There's stuff that there are threats that they prevent from happening every single day. So if you're dependent on someone else for your money, you're in trouble. Okay? Because you're always at the mercy of them. And that's what our platform does. It gives people an option, it gives people the avenue and the tools and resources to be able to provide for themselves. Okay? And that's what's great about it. We've had some more people to join us. We've had Mr. Sergeant Abdul to join us. We've had BT 757 to join us. We've had some other people to join us as well. I want to say welcome to all of you all and thank you all for joining us. Mr. Dayon Bernard, very new. You just joined, right? I remember your name. You just joined. Mr. Bernard, I think, has been with us for what, maybe a couple of days now?
Yep.
Mr. Bernard, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You've been with us for what, a couple of days now?
Since Thursday.
Okay, since Thursday. So how you liking it so far?
Man, I'm on fire.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, let me see if I can light some more fires here. All right. If you're not on it, everyone go to mydispatcher.org if you want to follow us, or if you just want to look in, or if you're online and you want to actually go into it, if you want to. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to post it both on our Facebook Live feed and I'm going to post it right here in our chat also too. let me find my check here. My eyes. If y'all know that I done started getting that grandpa look where I look over my glasses. That's when you get into that grandpa look. Let me go ahead and go to as y'all can see, we are live on Facebook. As y'all can see here, there we are, live on Facebook. Let me go ahead and put that link there as well too. All right, go to mydispatcher.org. Okay, that is our main dispatch site, and that's our network site. That's where everybody goes to access the back office and things like that. All right, we're gonna go over to our back office, and we're gonna go ahead and get into some training here. Go over to dispatcher tools and resources. Now, if you are a member of our network, if you are an enrolled member or an enrolled student, you will be able to access our back office. If you are not, you will not be able to access our back office. As you all can see here, my screen is being shared, right? Everyone can see my screen, except for those on Facebook. You can't see our screen, but our people who are here with us live can. All right. When you go to our back office site, if you are a member, it's going to ask you to log in. Okay, and you're going to have to log in with your email address and your secure password that you set up to get into our back office site. If you are not a member, the only way you're going to be able to access our back office site is you're going to have to enroll. Okay, and this is a restricted area, only accessible to the members of our platform. So you all can follow along and listen to what we are talking about, but you won't be able to actually see it and participate in it and do things like that. Okay. All right. Now that we're into our back office site, by the way, the interns will be processing you all's profile today to get you your toll-free numbers, your extensions, and your eFax line and your dedicated domain email address. Those will be done before the end of business today. They get a chance to get to it yesterday because we were just completely inundated with calls. Just back to back to back. It was just crazy. And on top of that, we had a lot of invoices to process. Mr. Womack, I don't know if he's on here today. I don't think he's on here today, but I want to congratulate Mr. Womack. He processed his first load, and we sent out the first invoice, and the carrier paid right away. As soon as we sent the invoice out, the carrier clicked on it and paid like 3 minutes later. That's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, we sent his invoice out, and the carrier clicked on it and paid like 3 minutes later. So I want to congratulate him on, and that's because he has good communications with his carrier. Now, here's the deal. If any of you have ever had concerns about your carrier paying you on time, because we've had some instances where carriers refuse to pay, and they just basically just tried to shaft us, and we had to wind up, sending them all type of notices and then getting the collection agency and all that type of stuff. But if you want your carrier to pay you on time, have a good relationship with your carrier. Have a good line of communication with your carrier. That's all it takes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If someone knows you well enough, where you all are having conversation, you're talking about, your family, and they're talking about their family, and you actually know this carrier, and you have a good line of communication with your carrier, chances that they're going to try and stiff you are going to be very small. Because people try not to stiff their friends. Believe it or not. Because they want, once you get on that type of level with someone, some type of relationship level, they want you to think the best of them. I don't care who it is. If you're someone you're doing business with and you all have a good line of communications and you always got great things to say about each other and you're doing stuff to help each other out, they're not going to want to stiff you because they want you to think the best of them. Now, if you're not talking with your carrier and the only time they ever hear from you is when you got a load, you say, hey, Mr. Carrier, I got a load for you, and that's the extent of your conversation, guess what? Chances are they don't know you that well. And if they don't know you that well, they won't have a problem with stiffing you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, y'all know that I'm trying very hard to clean up my language here because we're broadcasting on so many different platforms now. Before, when it was just us, y'all know I would say anything. But now that we're live all over the place, I can't say the things I would normally say if we wasn't with like Blip TV or Web TV because Web TV is monitoring our broadcast now. We're not live on Web TV yet, but we have a feed to them because they want to kind of critique what we do and make sure it's something that's going to be appropriate for their platform, for their venue. So people are watching. So be careful what you all have on when you come on camera, and the stuff that's in your background, make sure it's appropriate and things like that. But one of the ways to keep your carriers paying you well and keep a good relationship with your carriers is to have good lines of communication. Always try to communicate with your carriers. Okay. Now, I noticed also in the chat group that some people were having were asking certain questions. As a matter of fact, let's go over to the chat group and let's see what questions were being asked this week. Okay, we got two chat groups. We're going to start off in the first one. Let's go over here to our messenger and look at the chat group and see what questions were being asked so we can address some of those. And if you all have a question at any time, feel free to either type it in or come on, the mic and just say, I have a question. Introduce yourself and then pose your question. But we're going to go to some of the back office site stuff here. Let's look at this one right here for right now. This is our largest chat group, which is this one right here. Okay, let's see what we had there. Questions. That's Charles Mundy, Exodus Logistics, and his platform training. When we get a dispatch agreement being signed, and this is from Mr. Freddie Mullins. Okay, Mr. Freddie Mullins asked a question. When we get a dispatch agreement being signed, if the truck is running with someone else's MC number, who signs the carrier? Who signs, the carrier or the owner of the MC number? Now, good question. That has been asked before. All right. Basically, what he is asking is this. If you are the owner of a truck, you bought a truck, but you are leased on to someone else's MC number. You are signing your truck on to another company because they have the authority, you don't have an authority, but you own the truck. In that case, your agreement is going to be with that driver, the owner of the truck, not the owner of the company. Okay? Yes, that driver is operating under the MC number, but your agreement is with that driver and not that company. Why? Because that company is paying that driver the majority of the percentage of that load fee. The way that works is this. When you are signed on to someone else's MC number as a driver, but you own your own truck, you are an owner-operator. So you can contract, and that company allows that owner-operator to find their own loads. And in finding your own loads, you can connect with brokers. You can get loads from brokers. You can get loads from dispatchers. You can hire your own dispatchers to supply you with loads. Now, when that happens, you have to pay that dispatcher out of your cut. In other words, when you are leased on to a company and you own the truck, but they have their own MC number, what is going to happen is this. When you sign them up to a dispatch agreement, the owner of the truck's name needs to be on that dispatch agreement. So that's who your agreement with. Because the owner of the company is not agreeing to have you dispatch for the entire company. The owner of the company, he may have 15, 20, or 50 trucks. He may have 100 trucks. He may have 2,200 trucks out there that are leased on to his company. And he's not signing an agreement to have you to dispatch for all 2,200 of his trucks, of his drivers, of his owner-operators. Okay? So the contract that you are signing is going to be with that owner-operator. So the driver of the truck, the owner-operator, that's who the contract is going to be. And the percentage, your 10% is going to come off of their cut. It's not going to come off of the entire load fee. Why? Because the company is paying him a percentage. Like when I was with Western Express, I own my own truck, but I was running under Western Express's MC number in their owner-operator program. Which I received 73 1/3% of the total load fee. Western Express got the rest. So when I hired my own dispatchers to find me load, I had to pay them out of my 73 1/3% cut. So we just keep that in mind. When you're doing that type of dispatch agreement, your cut, your 10% is going to come off of what that owner operator's cut is, not off the total load fee. It's going to be on what the owner operator's cut is and not the total load fee. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Hello, Charles Monday. Thank you for coming in. Charles, I'll tell you that I probably did answer that question correctly. Thank you for joining us, Charles. I know you're a very busy man. Charles, let me ask you a question, if you're still on. Okay, have you noticed a real uptick in calls requesting information about your platform?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but this week we were just, I normally average about 50 to 100 calls per day. And this week is more like 200 or 300 calls per day. I mean, I actually have had situations where I've had 6 or 7 people on a conference line where I'm expanding our platform, and we have to just stack people up. And it's just crazy. I don't know if it has something to do with the government shutdown and people are out of work and not getting paid, or just fears of not being able to having to depend on someone else for your money. I don't know what it is, but there is I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me and I wasn't just imagining things, but there's a real trend for people to find something that's going to help them to be self-sufficient. And I tell everybody all the time, this industry is a great choice. So it is a great choice if you decide to go into it. As you all know, again, we are broadcasting live on Facebook. Hey, y'all again on Facebook. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate y'all. I put everyone on the open mic so that the people on Facebook and the other platforms, LinkedIn and Twitter, can hear. So you all are on an open mic. You're not on my headset anymore. Everyone is on an open mic, okay? So we'll keep that in mind. All right. But hopefully we answered that question. That was a question that was put by Mr. Freddie Mullins on our back office site, and but that is the answer to that question. If any of you have any questions now, make sure you ask them now, especially those who are in our platform. Be sure and ask questions as we're going along so we can get those answered for you. Just looking through the back office site here, he took 1,100 from another. All right, well, people were sharing some lows. Mr. Heidi said she was looking for lows, and someone found lows, but the rate was $750. Heidi said, yep, he took one for 1,100 from another dispatcher, so she kind of lost out on that one. All right, here's a question that someone has that says, anyone know of any loads for a 53-foot dry van for today or tomorrow morning going from Heartland, Connecticut to around Dayton, Ohio? Carrier wants $2.50 or better. Now, let's check. Since we had that question to put before us, I want to show y'all how you go and search for loads. Okay, today's operational training is all practical. This is all, and it's going to be under the heading of practical applications. Okay, so today's operational training is all practical stuff. That's what we're going over today. All practical stuff on how to search for stuff, how to do things, how to operate within our platform, how to find loads, how to book freight. It's all practical stuff today, okay? So that is going to be our training for today. It's all practical, okay? All right, so let's go and let's search for this load that she has said that she needed. Anyone know of any loads for 53-foot dry van for today or tomorrow? Since this was done yesterday, this would apply. So if we can find this for her, we can put it on here and show her that, yes, we have that load out there. That load needs to be paying $2.50 or better, and it needs to be going to Dayton, Ohio area, coming from Heartland, Connecticut. All right. Now remember, if you are in our platform, this is a task for you all and an opportunity for you all to make money. Because remember, if you are in our platform and if you find this load for her and you give her that load and her carrier runs it, right? Guess what? You make 2.5% of that load fee. Because remember, that's how our platform works. Now, I think she might have said the carrier found one, but no, I don't see where he said no, he hasn't found one yet. So let's go ahead and see if we can find one for this and see if we can get that taken care of for it. Now, remember, if you all find this load and you give it, any member of our platform, if you find this load for her and you get it over to her and she takes it and makes money on it, you get 2.5% of the load fee. So that's a task for you all right now. And I can bet you all Charles Monday is trying to find her load right now or somebody. So that's where our platform works. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So if you're in our back office site, how do you find that load? You're gonna go to the load boards. All right. You're gonna go to the load boards. You're gonna start looking through some of the loads. Let's check Trucker's Path real quick. Yes, I do know that Haul Hounds and the is down right now. They have been contacted. They were trying to get the thing back up and running, but we do know that those two load boards are down right now, and hopefully we have them back up and running here within the next couple of days or so. But anyway, let's see if we can find that on. Let's check Trucker's Path real quick. Truckloads for carriers. Search online. Now, when you're searching for loads, you have to go on the truckloads for carriers. You can't go on the loads. You can't log in under the truckloads for brokers or what you call it. And we do have a login for truckloads on carriers. This is our login for that. And we were looking for Connecticut. Let's see what was she looking for? She was looking for. Let's go to Heartland, Connecticut. Go ahead and pull that up. Heartland, Connecticut, origin. And she wanted to go to Dayton, Ohio, or near about, somewhere around Dayton, Ohio. So let's copy and paste that. I'm going to go to Dayton, Ohio. And what type of equipment did she say that was? Anybody remember? That was a dry van. All right. That was a dry van. So we're going to click the plus sign. We're going to click van. We're going to click off the flatbed. We got the van. Now, usually if you got a dry van, a reefer will do. No, she needs a dry van. If you got a reefer, you can run reefer and dry van. But if you got a dry van, yeah, you can't run a reefer load. All right. So it's going to be a dry van. All right. And we're going to find that load. What we got here. All right. Here's what we got. Let's see here. We got some responses here too. Can you explain how you pass loads to other members? Go into your, if a member is requesting a load, they're doing it on the chat group. Okay. You have to be a member of our platform to be able to do this. You have to be plugged into the chat group. Because when members ask for loads, they're going to be asking for them on the chat group. That's where you go to post, I need help. Okay? Anything you need, you go to the chat group. If you need help with anything, finding a load, a question or something that someone asks you don't know the answer to, what a certain term means, how do you find something within our back office site, anything, any type of question you have about the industry, about the business, about finding loads, about how to book freight, you ask it in the chat group. That's the purpose of the chat group. That is your line of support and your help during the week, because I'm pretty much not that available to talk with you all during the week because I'm answering so many calls nowadays for recruitment. So that's where you find that type of stuff. It's going to be in the chat group. So if someone is asking that in the chat group, you're going to come back to the chat group. You're going to click on their name, and you can chat with. You can send them a private message outside of the chat group. You know that, right? If you're in the chat group with someone, you can send them a private message. So if you're on the chat group, you need to talk with Heidi, right? You can say, Heidi, inbox me, private inbox me, or call me. I have that load for you. And when you put it in, at her name, it's going to put her name up, and it's going to notify her on her page. Even if she's not in Messenger, it's going to send her a notification on her phone or whatever place means that she has a message. Okay? So then she can respond back to you, and you all can get together, and you can pass that load on to her, and then she knows, everyone knows that when someone gets a load from somebody else, when they send in their invoice for us to process the invoice, one of the things that we ask them is, where did you get the load from? Or who did you get the load from? And then that's time when she will inform us, I got that load from such and such and such person. And then you and then will be added onto the invoice along with her. So when we send the invoice out to her carrier, you'll get a copy of the invoice, she will get a copy of the invoice, and the carrier will get a copy of the invoice. Okay? Charles Money can tell you exactly how that works because he's been on several people's loads where he has helped them found loads. Okay? And as you can see right there, Charles Money is saying, if I find a load for another member, I simply just paste it into the chat group. Okay? So, there you go. All right. Thanks for that question, by the way, Mr. Abdul. I really appreciate that, and hopefully we was able to get your question answered. And thanks, Charles, for helping to answer that question. All right. They found 3 exact matches on Trucker's Path here, going from the closest from that area to Ohio. Okay, 481 miles, $850. And she said it needs to be paying a minimum of what? 2 what? Per mile? Let's see what she said. She said it needs to be paying $250 or better. All right. Let's see. The distance 480 miles, $850. Is that $250 or is that not quite $250? Is that not quite $250? Somebody help me out here. Abdul says, sure thing. That's $250, right? Hold up. I know she was asking $250, but can anybody do that calculation for me real quick? It's 481. Here, I can do it. Let me pull up my calculator here. Calculator. All right. 481. No, it's 850 divided by 481. Not quite. That's like $1.76. So that's not gonna work. All right, that's not what he needed. Let's go back. Now this is the process, you all. This really is the process of finding what you want. Now, if I was on any of the other ones, I could click the rate, and it would show me the highest rate first. Oh, here it is. I can do that here. Age, price. There we go. Let's do that. All right, there we go. All right. 453, 445, 800. Those are still not quite 250. Let's go down here and see what we got down here for similar matches. So those were exact matches. Let's check the similar matches, which is going to get her close but not directly there. So the similar matches, we have 436. Here we have, all right, we have 339 miles, $800. All right, so 339 miles, $800. I think that works. Anybody want it? So 800 divided by 339. Not quite. That's 235. So the closer we're able to get on Trucker's Path is going to be 235. 235.59. Now, can you call up that broker and ask him how much more can we get on that? Of course you can, because you're not that far away. From 235 to 250, you're not that far away. Okay? So it may be worth it to you to call that broker. It may be worth it to you to call that broker and say, look, I've got a carrier that wants this load, but they need a little bit more money. Now, that broker's probably going to say, well, how much more money do you need? And you can show, well, how much more can you give? You know, or you can say, you know, well, you know, my carrier needs, you know, 260. And, are you lying? No, because he said they needed 250 or better, right? So you're not lying. You can say my carrier needs 260. Now if that broker says, okay, I can do that, then look, you just hit a home run. you just bop, watch that ball score because you just hit a home run. All right, because you found what your carrier wanted and got them a little bit more all at the same time. If he says, well, I can't quite do that, but I could probably do 245. Can you give me another 5 cents, man, and we're gonna make this deal happen? Bam, there you go. So it may be worth it to you to call up that carrier. Call up that broker and try to make that one work. Okay. All right. Now, if it's a situation, also another option is this: if it's a situation where you have a carrier that's stuck somewhere, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like that carrier is trying to get home over the weekend, right? Because he's asking for it leaving yesterday or today. Normally, when carriers are trying to find loads on the weekend, they're trying to get home. Okay? Charles, back me up on this, or anybody else who's been booking freight for a while, back me up on this. Normally, they're trying to find a load to get home. So if they're trying to get home, you can ask them, say, is this a load if you trying to get back home? And if they say yes, then look, it's Saturday, it's the weekend. I can find your load going home, but I can't quite match your rate. Okay, I can get you close. I got one that's paying $240, $230, $235, and that's close, and we'll get you close, and we'll get you, back home. And when you get back home, I'll make sure I try to find you something that's really worth it to you to get you back out. Okay, that's how I normally handle that. When you got stuff like that, yeah, like Charles said, that's usually a backhaul. For those of you who are not familiar with the industry, that's called a backhaul. Those are individuals who have gotten a load going out. Now they're trying to get back home. That's why it's called a backhaul. They're trying to get something to haul them back towards home. Okay, and the goal of a backhaul is not necessarily to make a lot of money, but it's to get you back to where you want to be. Either you're going back to your money load on the dedicated, or you're trying to go back home to be with mama. Okay, so that's what that is. So everyone has to be a little bit flexible when doing backhauls. That goes to what I was telling you all about, having great lines of communications with your carrier. Now, if you don't have a good relationship with your carrier, you're not going to be able to pull that off. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. Okay, Charles says, and most carriers should know rates going and going are far less than rates going back. Exactly. Okay, and Khalid said, why is the origin showing New Jersey? It is showing New Jersey because that is the closest pickup to where she wants to be. Because remember, where she wants to pick up from, because the carrier is in, let's find that again. The carrier is in Connecticut, okay? And New Jersey is not that far from Connecticut. It really isn't, okay? As truck drivers go. Now, in truck drivers' terms, that's only about, it's 91 miles. You see here? All right. You see where it says that 91? Y'all see that? Y'all see that right there? Now, these are exact matches. These are loads that are picking up like right close to where she wants to be. Okay? Now, but these are all within 100 miles, within 100 to 150 miles. That's not that far for a truck driver to go to grab a load. I'll tell you that right now. I have dead-headed 180 miles just to go grab a decent load. I have dead-headed 200 miles just to go grab a decent load. Okay? Now, this is, if her carrier is in Hartland, Connecticut, we have up here deadhead 200 miles. But if I change that, let's say deadhead 100 miles, it's only going to pull up, watch this, it's only going to pull up loads that are within 100 miles. You see how that works? Okay? So it changes it a little bit. So you got, but all these numbers right here, when you say DHO, okay, and you put your cursor over, it tells you deadhead from your location to pickup location. So that's why it has that 99 miles or 91 miles. It's 91 miles from where that truck is sitting at right now to where the shipper has to load to be picked up. Got it? And then when you go over here, these are the total miles of the destination of the trip, going from where they picked up from to their drop-off. All right? Hopefully you was able to, Khalid says you got it. Good job. Thanks, Charles, for the backup again and showing them that deadhead from an origin or to the shipper. All right. But, yeah, when you're trying to find loads like that, backhauls, make sure you have a good line of communication with your carrier and make sure that they understand that they may have to compromise or they may have to be flexible on their rate to get them back home. And then you just make it an extra effort to find them a nice paying load going back out to kind of make up for it. Because you always want to have a good line of communication with the carrier, and you always want to be able to have them to be flexible so that the brokers, everybody needs to be flexible, especially this time of year. This time of year is when a lot of now this thing is kind of seasonal too. So this time of the year, you have a lot of carriers that don't want to run up north. Obvious reasons. They don't want to be in the mountains on all that snow and ice. Okay? I ran on snow and ice. I don't mind it so much because, I guess deep down the heart, I got this adrenaline thing going on. Now, I jumped out of planes when I was in the military. So I guess I'm still kind of chasing that kind of rush. But I didn't mind so much going up in the mountains, okay, because I understood how to drive a truck. I understood that thing about, using your Jake brakes, using your, engine brakes, using your actual brakes, and you have to, it's kind of like a synchronized orchestra or a swim contest where you got to use all these things in conjunction. You got to watch that speedometer to see, what you call it is, that you're hitting that, when you hit that 5,000 RPM, then you got to back that bad boy back down, and bring it back down and let them Jake brakes, bring it back down. Then you got to tap them brakes a little bit. You can't hold them. You got to just tap them. You got to tap on the foot brakes a little bit because now you can't hold them foot brakes. So you're going to burn up your tires. And then you're going to be on fire. And then you pretty much out of luck. Okay? You got to tap them a little bit, right? Then you got to let the engine brakes kick in. Why? Because you done downshifted and you let your engine brakes take over. So then you let up off your brakes, let the engine brake take over, release them Jake brakes and let the engine brake hold you. And then when the RPM gets back up, you got to do that process all over again. You got to keep doing that until you get down to the bottom of that hill. That's what a lot of truckers fear. They don't like doing it because they don't know how to work those three braking systems. Okay, in order to properly get a truck down a mountain, you have to work three braking systems. Okay, and it is dangerous. Trust me, it is dangerous because if you go off the side of one of the mountains, if you sit in that truck, that's it. You just haul your last haul. Okay, and those tires heat up quick, those brakes heat up quick, and they will catch on fire. Plenty of times I've been coming out of Portland, Oregon, and coming down the Ashley Mountains or something like that. Coming down, y'all know what I'm talking about. I've been coming down and I've seen trucks going down the hill on fire. Literally, on fire. Guys jumping out of the truck going down the mountain on fire. Because they didn't know how to work their braking system and it burned up their wheels. So, with that being said, you got a lot of carriers that will not run up north during the winter. They all try to come back down south or they go home. Now that creates a little bit of a problem. That creates less freight. Well, it creates an influx of carriers wanting to run southern loads, but you don't have an increase of loads that's running southern loads. So now the shippers now know that you have more carriers than you have freight. So what they do is they drop their rates. So now they're not paying as much because they can get away with it. Okay, and when and the shippers up north, they're paying great, but they don't have enough carriers to run them. So if you've got a carrier that don't mind running up in the mountains during the winter, they can make some great money. That's because if you if you got enough carriers, try to get with your carriers that don't mind running up north during the winter, and that's the time for you to make money and time for them to make a lot of money, because a lot of carriers are not going to want to run those loads, and the shippers need to move those loads, so sometimes they're paying twice as much, and they're paying a lot more money for those loads that are running up north during the winter, and the loads down south are not going to pay as much running down here because you got a bunch of carriers now down here trying to run those flatland loads and stay out of the mountains. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're doing this type of season. But the great news is, here in about a month or so, this is going to break and it's going to be wide open. Okay, I mean, watch what happens. Around about the end of February, the first part of March, watch how rates start shooting, skyrocketing all over the place. You know, if anybody disagrees with me, let me know. But I'm telling you, watch it. Mark my words. Rates are going to shoot sky high. And if you're in this business, come the turn around March, the middle of March, watch how much money you make. If you're making a couple $100,000, I guarantee you your first $120,000 or your first $140,000 is going to be made between March and October. A lot of you not. Anybody care to back me up on that? While I sip my tea like Kermit. I'm doing my Kermit thing this morning. All right. Y'all are quiet this morning. Ain't nobody talking to me. Okay? I get paranoid when ain't nobody talking to me. I'm telling y'all that right now. Does anybody have any questions on what we just talked about on finding those loads and being able to negotiate with your broker or get your carrier to be a little bit more flexible, and the reason why that needs to be done? Does anybody have any questions on that part of it? Nope. Nobody has any questions? Everybody's so silent this morning. Okay. All right. Creak.
Hey, it's Khaled. I'm sorry. I do have a question here.
Yeah. And who am I speaking with?
It's Khaled.
Hey, Khaled. How you doing?
Good, thanks. So the first line here highlighted in green, that's obviously a recent one that was just became available. So in a load like this, when there's no price listed, would you assume that it's paying a higher rate and the broker doesn't want us to know how much so we can call and negotiate? Is that the case?
Yeah. Where there's no price listed, you got to call. There's no way around. You just got to call. When you see there's no price listed, you got to call. And the way I normally handle those calls when I'm looking for loads where there's no price listed, I get right to the point right out the gate. Just don't need to call enough a broker that doesn't have a price listed and saying how much does this load pay. Okay, that's not how you should be leading that conversation off. That conversation should be when you call that broker up. Hey, Mr. Broker, how you doing? I got a carrier that's looking for a load that's leaving out of the area where this load is leaving from, and that carrier needs blah, 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 blah. That carrier needs $2.60 per mile. Can this load make that happen, or do you have a load that might work for me? You see how that conversation went? You don't waste time by asking that carrier how much this load pays, because you're setting yourself up for failure. You understand what I'm saying? So what you do is you go right to the point. Now, have you shot yourself in the foot a little bit? Maybe, but chances are no. Because is there a chance that the carrier that he may have had more that he could give, or that load may have been listed for a higher price, but it's not, because guess what? He didn't list the price at all, so you don't know what the price is. So it doesn't matter one way or another. You can't worry about spilled milk or what might have been or what could have been. Your job is to find your carrier a load that fits his criteria, right? Hello?
Yep, correct.
Exactly. Your job is to find your carrier load that fits his criteria. Someone's got some serious background noise. If you have background noise, turn your television sets off, please. Thank you. You got there's a lot of chatter that we hear in the background. Either someone is on the phone with someone, or you have a television set on or something, but there's serious background noise. All right, that's better. It might be just an echo. Matter of fact, let me mute everyone. Okay, and Mr. Khalid, I'm going to unmute you so I can talk to you specifically. All right. Mr. Khalid, I think you can talk to me now, but I think you can talk to me. Hold on here. I'm trying to unmute you. All right, Ms. Khalid, you can unmute yourself and talk to me, but everyone else just stay muted for a minute. But yeah, what you want to do is if you're calling up if you're calling up a broker and that load is not doesn't have a price on it, you want to get right to the point. I know a lot of you are probably saying, but if he's got the load and he can pay $3.50, aren't you shooting yourself in the foot by going in and saying my carrier needs $260 or $270? Not really, because he hasn't told you what he wants for that load. And the reason why he hasn't told you what he wants for the load, because he's trying to do what? Make as much money on it as possible. So if you go in and say how much you got in this load, you think he's going to tell you everything he's got in the load? No. He's going to tell you, he's going to immediately hit you with the very lowest price that he can think of. He may come and say, yeah, I got that load. Yeah, that load is paying $1.75. Because what he's going to do is this. He's going to look at the load board just like you're looking at the load board. So you tell him you on a load that's going from such, guess what he's doing? He's pulling up all the loads just like you're pulling them up. And he's seeing what the other loads are paying. Right. And if he's seeing down there 175, 160, 225, this is it. Guess what he's going to quote you? He's going to quote you what's down there that everyone else is paying.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to get right to the point, because your job is to do what? Is to book freight. Get your carrier booked. Get your carrier the money he wants. So you can do what? Go find another carrier and get them what they want. Your job is to keep your carrier moving. Because remember, you all are not brokers, so you're not acting under the mindset of the way a broker would approach their a broker. Their always approach thing is get the most money I can get. Let's knock the heads off. Let's get this load out for the cheapest amount so I can save all the money and put all the money in my pocket. That's a broker's way of thinking. A dispatcher way of thinking, you are operating for the carrier. The carrier has already given you a specific criteria of what he wants. I need loads that's going more than 500 miles to pay me $3.25 a mile. I need loads that's going less than 500 miles. I'm sorry, loads going more than 500 miles to pay me $250 or $225. Loads going less than 500 miles, I need those loads to pay me $3 a mile, blah, 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 whatever it may be. So you know what your carrier's criteria is. So your job is to find loads that fit or is better than his criteria. So when you run up on a case where you don't have a load that's have a load posted, but there's no price to it, when you call that broker up, get straight to the point. Now, go ahead and pad your price a little bit so that you leave yourself room to be flexible. If your carrier wants $250, you tell him I need a load that's running I'm just paying $265. Hey, Mr. Broker, I got a carrier that's leaving out of the area where you leave when you have this load number, blah, 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 blah. I see there's no price on it, but my carrier needs a load that's pulling out of that area, but he has to have $265 per mile. Can you make this load fit that, or would this load work, or do you have another load that's going to maybe possibly fit that? Now, what is he going to do? If he's got the money in that load, what is he going to tell you? Yeah, that load will fit, because just like anything else, he needs to move his loads too. So if he's got enough money in it, he's going to tell you, okay, yeah, I can make that work. Or he's going to say, well, I can't quite make that work, but remember, you're giving yourself some room. So you have to be choosy and deliberate about your choice of words, and when you're talking to the brokers, but you have to always set yourself up for success. Don't go into a conversation setting yourself up for failure. Okay? Anybody want to add to that? Got the background noise taken care of. Getting a lot of feedback. Somebody needs to mute their mic. Yep, hopefully we got that taken care of. Does anybody want to add to that response or to that question? Or Mr. Khalid, did I answer that question for you properly?
You did, yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, great. All right. Does anybody have any other questions on when you're contacting brokers or when you're looking for a load, things of that nature. All right. Abdul say, found your first load, now what? Okay. What are you asking me? Can you come on and talk to me? Because a lot of times y'all text stuff, I have to kind of interpret what you mean. If you don't mind, unmute yourself and talk to me so people can understand. Because you're saying, found your first load, now what? All right. If you're looking, I'm gonna assume that you're asking me that you found. Now, in order to go find your first load, you got to have a carrier, right? So it's obvious what to do next if you found your first load. Because if you done what you're supposed to, because remember, let's not get out of step. You don't just go looking for loads just to go look for loads. You got to have a carrier before you look for the load. I called. I need to press the number to unmute. I'm not sure what number you're in. If anybody can help him out, what number do you press to unmute on your phone? I'm not sure what, because I've never actually used a phone version of this. I always go online. But I'll try and answer your question. Okay? Hopefully someone can help you out. But if you are, the first thing you've got to do before you do anything else, you got to get carriers. Okay? You can't start this whole process of looking for loads until you got a carrier. Yes, all right, great. You have a driver under your agreement. Did you send that driver your profile sheet? Okay, profile filled out, great. So now you know what the carrier wants. So now you go and you found him the first load. When you find him that load, your next step is this. You're going to call that carrier back and say, Mr. Carrier, I got a load for you. Here's what it is. He's got to accept it. He's okay, great. I want that load. Once he accepts that load and says, I want that load, you're going to contact the broker. Mr. Broker, my carrier wants load number, blah, 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 at the fee and the terms that we discussed. Okay? Great. That carrier is going to ask you for that broker is going to ask you for that carrier's DOT number or MC number. Okay? Now, if he is a carrier that's running under his own authority and everything, he is going to have an MC number and a DOT number. If he is a carrier who is running under someone else's authority, he's going to have his own DOT number, but he's going to be using someone else's MC number. All right? Y'all see how that works? All right, great. All right, so that broker is going to ask you for the DOT number. Sometimes they ask for the MC number. Most of the time they ask for the DOT number, and that's because they understand that some owner-operators are leased under someone else's MC number. Now, even if that owner-operator is leased under someone else's MC number, if that company is approved by that carrier, guess what? They're going to say he is good to go. If they get it and they don't see a listing for that company under their carrier packet, they're going to ask you for a carrier packet. Now, if you got the carrier packet on file, which you just told me, carrier packet is on file. Great, and you're good to go. All you've got to do now is ask that broker for what? The rate confirmation sheet. Rate confirmation sheet, he's going to forward you the rate confirmation sheet. Make sure you read that rate confirmation sheet. Do not just glance over it. Read it to make sure everything is what you all agreed upon. If you all agreed on $2.75 a mile, calculate that amount to make sure it is what it's supposed to be. If you all agreed that they only have one pickup, make sure that there's only one pickup or one drop-off. Because sometimes they'll try to sneak in a couple more pickups and drop-offs in there at the same rate. Okay? So make sure all that is right. And then you forward that over to your carrier. Your carrier then signs it and forwards it back over to you, and you send that back over to the broker. That carrier has now been dispatched. Okay? That carrier picks up the load. If you want, I normally have my carrier to call me when they pick up the load and let me know that they have picked up the load. And I have them to call me when they are at the drop point and let me know they have dropped the load. That's optional. That's up to you. That's however you want to do it. If you don't want to be bogged down with calls coming in from carriers, if you got a lot of carriers, you may want to forego that option. All right, but if you only have a few carriers, you can easily do that. Have them to call you, you're not really stressed about it. All right. When that carrier drops that load, that carrier is going to send you a BOL. That is your bill of landing. That is your receipt that the drop-off receiver has given you, and basically letting that carrier know this load was delivered on time. This load was delivered in good condition. Everything is a go, and this load is eligible to be paid on. So they send you the BOL, which is the bill of landing. Okay? It's kind of obvious why it's called the bill of landing. It's the bill of where that load landed at. Okay? Carrier's going to send you the bill of landing, right? You're going to forward that bill of landing over to who? Your broker, to let them know that and you're going to send them, and you're going to send the invoice over to that broker. The carrier's going to have an invoice that's going to go to the broker that he should be sending you. If the carrier doesn't have one, make one up for your carrier that you can attach with every bill of landing that you send over to the broker. Basically, all you're stating is just restating the same stuff that was in the what? The confirmation rate sheet. Where the load picked up, where the load dropped off, how much the load weighed, and how much money they're supposed to be paying your carrier. So you create a little invoice, you send that along with the bill of landing over to the broker. The broker then takes that information, he sends it up to his factoring company. Okay? About a day and a half to 2 days later, you call that broker back. Hey, Mr. Broker, how you doing? This is such and such. I'm calling to get the status of my carrier's pay on load number, blase, blase, blase. That broker is then going to tell you one of three things. Oh, that load got paid on yesterday. The carrier got paid for that load yesterday. Or, oh, that carrier is due to be paid today. Or, oh, that carrier is due to be paid a day from now or 2 days from now. Whichever one of those they tell you, you in turn, if you're letting us process your invoice, because remember, if you're on the $19.95 subscription, you're going to get 100% of your dispatch fee, which is 10% of the load fee, unless someone else helps you find that load, which means they're going to get 2.5% and you're going to get your 7.5%. All right, but either way, you're going to send us your information. You're going to get back and you're going to shoot us an email. You're going to shoot that email over to what? dispatch@rbbstransport.com. You're going to send that over to us and include it in that email. At the title of it, it's going to say My Payday Invoice. The title of that email is going to say My Payday Invoice. And you can put the load number on if you want to, for load number, blah, 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 blah. Attached to that email, you're going to attach the original signed dispatch agreement you had with the carrier. You're also going to attach the confirmation rate sheet, because you have it, because when it's in the email, you automatically got a copy of it in the email. And you're going to send us a copy of the BOL. Those are the three forms you're going to attach to your email. In the body of your email, you're going to list your name, your extension, your email address. You're going to have your carrier's name, the carrier's cell phone number. Let me repeat that, the carrier's cell phone number and their email address. And you can include their MC number and DOT number if you want to. All right? You're also going to have the broker's name, phone number, email address. And you're going to have the load information, where the load picked up, where it dropped off, how much it weighed, how many miles it went, and how much money it paid. Okay? If your carrier is a owner-operator but running under someone else's MC number, you're going to put the percentage of what that carrier gets paid. If that carrier is getting 80% of that load, that means your cut is going to be 10% of that 80%, not 10% of the total amount, because your contract is with that owner-operator, not with that company. Okay? If your contract is with the company, you're just going to put the information and what the load paid and all that stuff that I just asked you about. And the very last thing you're going to put is you're going to put who you got that load from if you got it from someone else, and you're going to also put your cash tag ID. Okay, so we can pay you your money, so we can get you your money quickly. All right, so when you shoot that over to us, we're going to prepare an invoice, and we're going to put it together, and we're going to send it back out. Now, if you want to see what an invoice looks like, here, let me show you. Let me show you what an invoice looks like. Let's see here. Here we go. I can go from here. Let me show you what an invoice looks like. Square. Log into my Square account. RBBS Trucking. All right, let's see here. See what the invoice looks like. Show y'all what the invoice looks like when you send out one for a carrier. Oh, we got phone calls, y'all. Probably, I don't know who that is. I just let that ring. It'll be all right. It's not coming in on my business line, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. All right, let's look for a carrier's invoice. Matter of fact, let's look at one that just got paid. Let's look at one that just got paid. I'm gonna look at one that just got paid. Here it is right here. This is Mr. Womack who did his first load. Congratulations, Mr. Womack. He sent that invoice out. Got his first load paid on. There it is right there. The load was $500. His cut was, there it is right there, $50. All right. This is what your invoice is going to look like. Do the invoice. Let me see here. Let me do the invoice and show y'all what it looks like. As y'all can see, well, first of all, let me read to you all what this is. This is the invoice. All right, your invoice is gonna, when we send it out to your carrier, we're gonna send out your invoice. That's the date it was paid on, date it was due, give us all the information. Now that is a sales call. Hold on here for a minute.
Call for extension 0 to accept. Press.
This is Cal with RBBS. How can I help you? You're part of you're on our live broadcast, booking freight from home. How can I help you?
Calvin, Pete Munson calling you today. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mr. Munson. And what can I do for you?
Good. I need to go ahead and cancel my service with you.
Okay.
I'm taking a separate job. I'm going to be out of dispatch.
Okay, so you want to put your subscription on hold, or you just want to just what?
That would be fine. Yeah, if I can put it back on hold, I'm just going to see how the job goes. And if not, I'll come back to dispatch.
All right, great. What I need you to do is shoot an email or respond to the Square email that we sent you when you chose your subscription. Reply back to that and just reply, please place my subscription on hold, and we'll place it on hold for you, because once you become a part of our platform, you're always a part of our platform. We're not one of those groups we're not one of those groups that kick you out of the platform. That's not what we do. Once you become part of our platform, you're always part of our platform. Just send us a thing telling you that you're going to be putting your dispatching services on hold, because we don't want you paying for something that you're not using. Okay?
Gotcha. Thank you very much, Calvin. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, and look forward to seeing you back on our platform soon.
Take care.
All right. As y'all can see, that's how we do business. Okay? Gentleman, he took another job, and he wants to put his subscription on hold because he's doing other stuff other than booking freight right now. And we're not in the business. We're not in the business of having people to pay for stuff when they're not actively using it. Okay, so that's how we operate, and I don't mind letting y'all listen to that or see that, because we don't have anything to hide, and we always operate above board, and we try to be fair to everyone. All right, but let's get back to this. Where we're here, rate confirmation. All right, this is what we attach when we send out the invoices. Okay, this is the invoice is going to that trucking company, and we send it out to them, and it reads like this. It says load invoice billing from RBBS National Dispatchers Network member. It has your name there, whoever your name is, the invoice number. It's going to have the date. It's going to have the customer that it's going to. We also send a copy of this out to the person that we sent the who the invoice is for. It says our records indicate that you completed a load that was provided to you via RBBS National Dispatcher Network member Justin Womack. 1. Load order confirmation. Load number is right there. Load info. Picked up in Wimbledon, California. Went to Las Vegas, Nevada, 285 miles, 8,500 pounds, and it paid $500. Decent load. Okay. per our dispatch agreement. 10% of the load fee is the agreed upon fee for this service. Please remit payment in the amount of $50 conveniently via credit or debit card. We send that out to them. Along, we attach with it these items: carrier rate confirmation, dispatch agreement, the original signed dispatch agreement, and the BOL. Okay, we attach that. We send all that out, and we send all that out because we want them to know that this is a bona fide and legitimate load. Now, to show y'all what that dispatch agreement looks like, I'm going to open the link on it. This is what it looks like when they get it. When they receive it, this is what they receive. It says that right at the top, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center paid invoice, $50 paid on the date. Now, this one is paid. If it wasn't paid, it would have a link there that will tell them to pay this invoice, add your debit card number, whatever this is, and click here. That's all they got to do to pay it. We send them an email and we send them a text with that link in it. All your carrier has to do to pay your invoice is to click on it and pay with a debit or credit card. And this is what that invoice looks like when it goes out to them. Okay? So it is a professionally done invoice. If you are letting us do your invoicing services, that's how we handle it. That's what it looks like. And that's how you get paid quickly when your carrier is paying you on time. And remember, we sent this invoice out, and his carrier paid in less than 10 minutes. As soon as we send it out to him, they click on it and pay with it. Why? Because he obviously has a good line of communications with his carrier. He obviously has a good line of communications with his carrier. Okay? So, there you go. Did I answer your question there, sir? Hopefully I did. Did I get that for you, Mr. Abdullah? Did everything get answered for you? Great. Yep. All right. Always. Good to know, good to know, good to know, good to know. All right. So that's how that works. Okay? Hopefully you all are learning something today from our class today. Hopefully you all on Facebook, you're learning something too. You're seeing how we do business and how this whole thing works, and that's just how it works. Now, if you all are thinking that we don't get enough invoices in, we got a lot of invoices here. We got a lot of people here, that we process invoices for. But anyway, that was our Square back office area. That's where we operate everything from. If you're looking to build your business, now I'm gonna give Square a little bit of shout out here. If you're building your dispatch firm or your brokerage firm, I recommend that you get the go to squareup.com. Okay, not the regular Square, not the regular Cash app. You're gonna go to squareup.com, and you're gonna get the Square Business app. You're gonna get the Square Business app. It is amazing. Okay, it is 1,000 times better than PayPal. Okay, PayPal is all right, but PayPal is for the average person who is not really a business person. Square, when I tell you it is the best, it is the best, hands down. Okay, it is the best, hands down. So if you're trying to run your business effectively, get yourself a Square Up account. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. Get yourself a Square Up account. It is the best, hands down, period. Okay, we even get Square Capital Loan, where Square sends us out loan offers every time, and they keep going up every time you pay them off. And I love the way you pay them off, because all you have to do is just keep doing business, and they take it out of each transaction. Like they'll see you a thing saying, okay, here's 10 grand, right? And they give you like a year to pay that 10 grand back. And the way you pay it back is each transaction they take out 1 or 2% from the transaction. So if your transaction is $300, they'll take it out 30 to 50 bucks. Bam. That's how you pay it back. And then when you get it down to about 80% paid back, guess what? They make you another offer. Here's 15 grand. And then that money goes right into your bank account. Then you get that one paid down. Here's 25 grand, and so on and so on. So I mean, and the lifeblood of any business is operating capital. Okay, let y'all know that right now. the lifeblood of any business is operating capital. Okay, so make sure that you have an avenue to where you always have some capital to operate your business. And Square is a great platform to use to operate your business. So look into that. You can do invoicing. You can do all types of stuff with Square. You can do payroll. You can do point of sale, virtual debit and credit card payments. You have a virtual terminal. You can set up a website to where people can just click on it and pay you with a debit and credit card. Look, Square is great. They see you a little swipe thing for free so people can swipe their credit cards. They can put it into your phone, all that type of stuff. It is great. Okay, get yourself a Square account if you're looking to expand your business. All right. We got a message on Facebook. Let's see what someone is saying on Facebook. Someone said the call ended. Freddie is on Facebook. What did he say? Oh, I think what they're doing. I think they were having a. Okay, they were having a conference call on Facebook. Someone was having a conference call on Facebook. I don't know what this is, but this is not appropriate in our back office site on our chat group. Okay, whoever submitted this to our chat group, I am deleting it because if it doesn't have anything with booking freight, it doesn't belong in our back office site. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. Hopefully we was able to get that question answered from Mr. Abdul. He said, yes, we did. Any other questions on about booking freight, about anything that you all have a question about? Now is the time to ask that. If you have a question about anything, about the load board, about booking freight, anything, now it's time to ask that. All right. Now, how do you find carriers? All right, because remember, one of the first things you have to do before you can start anything, you have to get carriers under contract. In order to get carriers under contract, you got to have a way to contact carriers, right? You got to have a pool of carriers to call. There are two ways we give you a couple of ways to find carriers, okay? The first way is you can go to the load board, like Truckers Path, or if you have 123 or something like that, you have to go to where it says your truck locator. Now, when you're looking for carriers on the load board, chances are you're going to be connecting directly with the driver. So there are two schools of thought when you're contacting carriers. You can contact the company, which we'll show you how to do that too, or you can contact the actual driver in that truck most of the time. Okay? If you want to contact the driver at the location of where the truck is, he may be at a truck stop somewhere or wherever he's at, and you want to contact him because he may be showing I'm empty. And chances are, when you have drivers that showing they're empty like that, they are owner operators and they can book their own loads. To find that type of carrier, if you find that particular type of carrier, you're going to go to the load board. Okay, and if you're on Truckers Path, you're going to go to the load board and you're going to click where it says truckloads for brokers, because you can't search carriers as a carrier. If you're searching for loads, you have to click truckloads for carriers. Now, we have both logins. We have a broker login and we have a carrier login. All right? So if you're looking for carriers, you're going to click the truckloads for brokers. It's going to ask you to sign in. You got to sign in. And bam, it's going to pull it up like this right here. You're going to go to where it says truck search. You're going to click truck search. Okay? But remember, this is not a carrier search. This is a truck search. So you're going to be actually pulling up the trucks themselves and calling that driver. Okay? It's going to say truck search. So right now, we're looking at all states. You can search by state. You can search by, let's say, if you just want to look at in Alabama, you can pull up Alabama. And you click search. And you want to look at all equipment. Yep. You always want to look for safety rating of satisfactory. You never want to click unsatisfactory. Okay? Conditional or satisfactory is what you want to click on your safety ratings. When you click that, it's going to pull up all the carriers that have marked themselves as available and empty in the state of Alabama. And here they are. They got that little mark there. You can click on them with the little red thing there, and it pulls them up, tells you what the location is, and all that type of stuff. You all know how that go. You need to scroll down and get right down there to them. Get even closer in on it, if you want to, because you get that little satellite feed. You get that little satellite feed. But you gotta love technology. You gotta love technology, man. Look, 15, 20 years ago, this was not possible. I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, you all are living in a great time now, because it used to be a time where you needed a minimum of $50,000 just to start a business. Okay, you really did. There was a time in my young adult life when you needed 50 grand minimum to start a business. Nowadays, you can start a business with $50. I mean, literally, if you got enough money to get you a computer, a used computer, and some internet, well, you ain't the internet because you got free Wi-Fi all over the place now. But you can get yourself a computer and a phone. I mean, $100 and you're in business. Literally speaking. And if you already have that, you don't have to spend anything else. You're good to go. So, yeah, but I just wanted to give you that side note. All right, so when you're finding the carrier, you got the carrier there. You put up the state you want to look for them in. You got 73 carriers that are in this. You got 32 carriers that are in the state of Alabama that have marked themselves empty and ready to go. You click on one of them, it's going to pull up all the information. It's going to tell you, this carrier posted 3 minutes ago. He just posted, I'm empty and I'm available. He has a van. His name is Brandon. I'm not going to put his name right. There's his name, there's his MC number, there's his email address, there's his phone number. Okay? He has all green lights, so he's good to go. His authority is good. His operation is good. His safety is good. His insurance is good. Others, good. Everything's good about this driver. This is a good carrier. Okay? Call old Mr. Brandon up. Hey, Mr. Brandon, how you doing? Do we have time for a live phone call? Let's try it. Let's see what Mr. Brandon's got going on. Hold on for a second, y'all. Give me a second, y'all. I got some stuff going on here. Missed phone calls. Let's try to call Mr. Brandon up real quick. See if we got time for a live phone call. Give y'all a little treat here today. Now, Brandon, he may have already heard from us, but we're gonna try and call him up anyway. What's his number? 6, 8, 7, 6, 9, 2, 9, 2. Now remember, this is live. This is not scripted. So what you hear is what you get, because this is how it is in real life. Hi, may I speak to Brandon Jackson, please? Hey, Mr. Jackson, how you doing? I see you're down there in Alabama right now.
Say I'm where now?
Oh, you're in Alabama right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, you're in Georgia? Okay, yeah, okay, you're in Georgia, okay. Well, the reason why I'm calling is, my name is Calvin Butler, and I'm with the National Network of Dispatchers. We're the largest independent network of dispatchers in the country, more than 1,700 dispatch firms and brokerage firms strong. And what we do is we try to help carriers find high-dollar freight. Now, let me ask you a question real quick. How much money do you need to move your truck?
To move my truck?
Yeah, how much money do you need to make your truck profitable? And the reason why I ask that is this. Because, look, I was a truck driver, and I know, and everyone else knows, that not every carrier can move the load for the same amount of money. Because you got expenses that no one else may have. So with that being said, if you tell me you need, for loads that's running more than 500 miles, you need $2.25 a mile, guess what? That's all I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for loads that's paying better than $2.25, or I'm not going to call them. If you tell me for loads that run less than 500 miles, you need $3.75, guess what? I'm not going to look for loads that's paying $3.65. It don't make no sense in that. I'm only going to look for loads that's paying $3.75 or better. If you tell me you don't want to run in the mountains, I'm not going to look for loads that's got you going all the way up there in New Hampshire and New York and all those places, because that ain't where you want to go. I'm going to keep you on the bottom half of the United States. If you tell me you don't want to pull more than 35,000 pounds, guess what? I'm not going to look for loads that's weighing more than what you want to pull. So you know when you see my number on your caller ID, I got the kind of loads you want, going to the places you want to go, paying the kind of money you want to get paid.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I lost you for
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, what I was saying is, you know that if you see my number on your caller ID, I got the kind of loads you want, going to the places you want to go, and paying the kind of money you want to get paid. Okay? So, and that's the way our service works. Okay? And we work as a network. So if I can't find your load, guess what? I put it on our network, and you got close to 1,700 other dispatchers and freight brokers looking for a load for you. So someone is going to find me something close to what you want or better than what you want. And guess what? If I don't find what you want, I'm not going to call you. You ain't going to never hear from me. The only time you'll ever hear from me or one of our network members is when they got the load that matches what you're looking for.
Okay.
That sound good to you?
Yeah, so look, let me ask you this. What's the price for y'all?
We charge, our fee is 10% of the load fee. Now, before you, I know some people say that's high, or whatever the case may be, but let me tell you this. We're just here to give you another option. We're not trying to replace your current dispatcher or whoever you're trying to get loads from. All we're saying is this. If your current dispatcher, wherever you get a load from, if you're looking for loads and all you're seeing is 175, 210, and 225, and then we call you up and we got a load for you that's paying 275, 285, and $3, that 10% doesn't matter now, does it?
No, I do.
Exactly. So let me ask you a question. Where can I send you a dispatch agreement to get you signed up with us?
I need to get it read over. Send it to Superior Freight Solutions.
And I see that here on the you on Truckers Path. I see here, yes, Superior Freight Solutions at. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I see your email here, Superior Freight Solutions, everything. So I can pull it up right from here. So we can send it right over there, right?
Yeah, you can send it there.
Okay.
So I can read them.
All right, great. I'm going to have one of our, at gmail.com, that's right. I'm going to have one of our network members to shoot you an email and to contact you. And they're going to be shooting you over a dispatch agreement and a profile sheet. Your profile sheet is basically going to be asking you how much money you need to move your truck. It's going to ask you how many miles, for loads that run more than 500 miles, what you need. Loads that run less than 500 miles, what you need. Let us know where you don't want to go or where you like to run, and let us know how much weight you can pull, and let us know what type of trailer you have. Okay?
All right, no problem.
All right. Look forward to doing business with you, man, and stay safe out there, man.
All right.
All right. You have a great day. All right. That's how it's done. Now, if you tell me you can't do that, I'll tell you need to go work for McDonald's. Listen to me, people. When I tell you all this is the easiest job in the world once you learn how to be a salesman. Once you learn how to be a salesman. Once you learn how to be a salesman. Okay? What is this reminder? Okay, great. Once you learn how to be a salesman, this is the easiest way to make money you have ever seen in your life. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's experience, but you can do it too. Learn the script. Look, if you learn it, look, Charles Monday would tell you. Charles Monday, he tells everybody he meets. When he first started doing this, he was bucking the system. He was sending out emails. He wasn't talking to people, and he wasn't signing up no carriers. But the very next day, after he called me and said, "Man, I can't. This ain't working, man." I said, "What you doing, Charles?" He said, "Well, you know, I'm sending out 200. You know, I'm contacting 200 carriers every day, and ain't nobody signed up." I said, "What you saying to them?" "Well, I'm not talking to them. I'm just sending them an email." Charles, that's not what we train you to. That's not what we ask you to do, Charles. We ask you to call the people up and talk to the people because they got to hear the conviction in your voice. Okay, they got to hear the conviction in your voice, and they got to know that they're talking to someone who knows what they're doing. And the only way to do that is to learn the script. Now, I can do that all day long. I'm not going to lie to you. I can do just that all day long. If I call 10 carriers, I'm going to sign up 7 of them. Bam. Just like that. Okay? That's because I know the script. Learn the script. Okay, you just got a perfect example of how that script is done. Okay, this is not, we just picked this guy out of the blue. Okay, no predetermined calls and nothing. Now, if you're not doing this at least 2 to 3 hours a day, then you ain't trying to make no money. Okay? Forget all that crap about lane rates and all the other stuff that these other freight broker trainers trying to teach you. Them dogs don't hunt. They don't hunt. Now, I'm telling you that right now. Them dogs don't hunt. What's going to make you money, get on the phones, learn the script, call up a carrier, make the pitch, send them out a dispatch agreement, send them out a profile sheet, get them signed up, and let it ride. Now today, I am going to send this guy's information. Now, you all have this guy's information. Okay? I don't want everybody flooding this guy's phone with calls. Okay? Because I know all y'all say, I need that guy, I need that guy. I understand it, but I don't want everybody flooding that guy with calls. Okay? I'm gonna pick someone to send this guy's information to, and I'm gonna send it to him. I'm probably gonna give it to one of our new students. Okay? I'm probably gonna give this to one of my. I don't need no more carriers. I'm telling you that right now. I don't need no more carriers. Okay? I book freight for 300. Oh well, my company books freight for 317 carriers. I book freight for 3 carriers. That's enough for me. I can't afford to. I don't have the time to book freight for a whole bunch of carriers anymore. I just don't. Okay. So I'm gonna give this one to somebody. Mr. Abdul said he's one, so I'm gonna give it to you, Mr. Abdul. This is yours. Okay. Thank you for being on the. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for asking questions. I appreciate your participation, and this is your reward for participating. Okay. So I'm gonna give this one to you. So. I'm gonna send this information over to you right now. Okay, I'm gonna send this information over to you right now, Mr. Abdul, and I want you to make good use of this and take care of this guy. All right. Let me shoot you a message personally. Give me a second here. Let me shoot you a private message. It's right there. All right, there it is. You got it. All right, you got it. There it is. I just sent you a private message with all his information. Shoot that guy a dispatch agreement. Make sure you remind him that you are a member of the National Network of Dispatchers. You are following up on the contact information that we received, suggesting that he wanted to enter into agreement with us to find him high-paying freight. Okay? All right, good to go. All right, so look. I know there's a lot of stuff online about booking freight and freight broker training courses and whatever case may be, but look, you all see how we do things. Okay? I can't get any more real than that. I can't get any more right there in your face than that. You get to see how it works. You get to see how people respond. You get to see how, and we do this every week. Every week we do this. Okay, I don't make live phone calls every week, but I can do this all day long, and I'll get 7 out of 10 people to sign up. Plain and simple. Now, for those of you who are not comfortable in sales, because this is sales. This is sales. And you all will be able to go back and pull this video up and review it and watch it and kind of watch how I do the pitch and pull up the pitch in the back office, get in front of a mirror, record yourself doing the pitch, and record how you look in your facial expressions and everything, and that will make you a better salesperson. Okay? That will make you a better salesperson. All right? If you do it that way. All right? So that will make you a better salesperson. If you practice it, watch yourself in the mirror, get your facial expressions down, and just do the pitch, man. Just do the pitch. Make the phone call. Do the pitch. If you make the phone call and do the pitch, you will get carriers. If you got carriers, then you got work. If you got work, then you're making money. Any questions? Any questions, comments, critiques? Anybody have a question, comment, or critique over how that call went, or any questions about that call, or what you would have done differently, or how, just talk to me, somebody. I know y'all got questions. I know y'all got, because I see y'all asking questions all the time in the chat group, and then we get here on Saturdays and everybody want to be like, well, I don't have no questions. Y'all shy about coming on camera. I'm not going to back your head off. I promise. I'm not going to call anybody out on camera or anything like that. So if you got questions, go ahead and ask your questions. If not, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. All right, look. Someone have a question? I hear some background noise. Does someone have a question? All right, I guess not. All right. But that's how that's done, okay? First thing you have to do is contact the carriers. Once you've got the carriers, then send them the dispatch agreement and the profile sheet. And when you send them that, they fill it out, they send it back to you, and then you're ready to start finding them freight. This is not a hard business. It really isn't. Give me a second here. What time are we looking at? All right, we got about an hour left. All right. In this hour, this is all Q&A now. All Q&A for this hour. We kind of pretty much done with the training for the day. You all today have learned several things. You have learned how to find the carrier and how to. Oh, I'm sorry. I do got something else I want to show you all. I did promise you all that I will show you all how to look up the carrier companies. All right. Now this is how you find the carrier themselves, the driver. Now, if you want to, now I'm gonna be honest with you. When you're contacting the drivers themselves, it is a more personal experience. It is a more, because chances are when you call them from the load boards, that driver only has one truck. He's just an owner-operator out there. He's one truck. He's trying to make money. That's the guy you want. That's your money guy. Okay, now these big carriers that's got, 15, 20 carriers, they're all right. But your money guy, the guy that's going to make you a ton of money as a dispatcher, is that guy with that one truck, parked at a truck stop. Why? Because you know he's out there doing it. You know he wants to run because he's out there by himself in a truck away from his family, right? Trying to make money. That's the guy you want. That's the guy you should want to help to make money because he's doing it. I mean, he's doing it. He's working. He's a hustler. He's a go-getter. He's not some guy just sitting around at home. Oh, man, I guess I'll go play truck driver today. That's the guy you don't want. You don't want that guy. You don't want that guy. You want that guy that's at that truck stop or wherever he's at, mark this truck empty and he's ready to go. Now, you all should be calling all these numbers here. You all should be calling. Okay, not just the state of Alabama, but you also got Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, California, Arkansas, New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma. Come on, man. Target rich environment. All the money you ever want to make is right here in front of you. Now, that one carrier, if Mr. Abdul can book him 4 loads a week, that's going to equal somewhere between $800 and $1,000 per week, right there. Just find this guy 4 loads a week. Find this guy 4 loads a week. That's going to bring him $800 to $1,000 per week. That one carrier, if he just runs him 4 loads a week. He gets himself another carrier, that's going to be $1,600 to $2,000 a week. You see how this business just kind of creeps up on you? Okay? It really can creep up on you. Now, I have to warn you now, your tax status is going to change. So if you don't believe me, ask Charles Monday. I mean, he got a problem this year. His problem this year is he made too much money. That's his problem this year. He made too much money. Okay? Not really. James said that's the hard part, finding loads. Not really. Not really. The hard part is training your carriers to be realistic. Okay, you're looking at it the wrong way. The hard part is not finding loads. Loads are every damn where. Pardon my French, but they are. I can take a handful of rocks, throw them off my balcony, and hit 5 loads. And the hard part is not finding loads. The hard part is developing a good line of communications and having your carriers to be flexible. Take, for instance, If I got a carrier that says that I need a load that's paying $5.50 a mile, that's an unreasonable carrier. I'm just being honest with you, man. That's an unreasonable carrier. He's just yanking your chain. Okay? Here's what I do with carriers that say that, oh, all I want to pull is $10 a mile loads. I tell them when they go pull them, but you won't ever get a call from me. I cut them loose. Ain't no sense me dealing with them. Ain't no sense you dealing with someone that's going to give you some unrealistic expectation. And they know good and doggone well that's not all they pull. Okay? So forget that. Send him on his way. Let him be who he's going to be. Let him be great at being him. Okay? You go out and you find you a carrier that wants to run and make money. That wants to make good, decent money. Okay? And you keep him running. And I guarantee that carrier you find that says, yeah, give me loads that's paying $250 to $375. And I guarantee that carrier is going to make a hell of a lot more money than that guy that's talking about I don't run loads that ran $10 a mile. Okay? You know crap when you hear it. You know BS when you see it. So stop cultivating it and call it out for what it is. That's what I do. That's what I do. Now, when you find yourself some dedicated freight, okay, because eventually if you stay in this business long enough, you're gonna run across dedicated freight. Now, dedicated freight does pay well, but it's paying well going down. Going back to the money load usually requires a backhaul that doesn't pay that great. So here again, loads are available, but you still got to have carriers that are willing to be flexible. That carrier has to be realistic. You have to understand that if you find them that dedicated freight, like I have a lot of carriers that run stuff from up Nebraska, those Omaha states and stuff like that, all the way down here to Florida, into the seafood places and stuff like that. They may have 5 or 6 stops on their way down, but they'll pick up in Nebraska, in Lincoln, Nebraska. They'll run down to Miami, Florida. They have 5 stops along the way, 2 drop-offs and 3 pickups, or 3 drop-offs and 2 pickups all the way down. And that load coming down from there is paying $7,850. Good running load, right? $7,850 running down from Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, down to Miami, Florida, with 5 stops. Okay? Now, that normally takes them, the whole week to make that run. Because they got 5 stops. They're coming all the way from Lincoln, Nebraska, going down to Miami, Florida. Okay? That's your week right there. Yes, I have a lot of carriers who are on that type of stuff. But that comes with you being in the business for a while, and it comes with paying your dues and finding freight and running these loads, making yourself a couple $1,000, $3,000, a couple $1,000 a week, $3,000 a week, and then you bump up. All of a sudden, you got these dedicated freight, and all of a sudden you bump it up into the big man game, and you're making yourself 7, 8, 9, 10 grand a week. Okay, but that's gonna come. And I'm not saying it's going to take a long time, because you may be doing something. You may run across a dedicated load today. It happens like that. Okay? You may, through your networking or whatever you're doing, you're on social media, you just kind of browse stuff, and you come across something and say, oh, this plant got loads that's running blah, 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 blah. I've got a bunch of carriers on sub-dedicated freight. Sub-dedicated freight is basically freight that pays good and is running the same stuff all the time, but you're not contracted on it. As long as your carrier shows up, gets in line, they can run that load. Take, for instance, Bainbridge, Georgia to Chicago, peanut run. Load of peanuts. They pick up the bushels in Bainbridge, Georgia. They run up to Chicago, about 989 miles. How do I know? Because I ran that load when I was a driver. I made the end of my career on that load right there, and it was dedicated. It was you pick up the bushels. It was a heavy load, so those were heavy peanuts. You pick up the bushels. It was about right at 40,000 pounds. They always try to load you up heavy. But you'll leave Bainbridge going up to Chicago, 980-mile run. Took you about a day and a half to make that run. A shift and a half, put it that way. a shift and a half to make that run. They paid $22.50 going up. No, $24.50 going up is what it paid going up. $2,450 going up. When you got to the plant, okay, they usually let you park there overnight, and you're in line the next morning to drop your load, right? So you got a full clock when you drop your load. So you done sat overnight, you got your full clock, and you pull into the what's called the gate, and you go in there about 5 in the morning, and you drop your load, or 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the morning, you back up, and they unload you, right? When you get to unloading you, all you're doing is coming back out to the gate, you're signing back in to go pick up a load of packaged peanuts, the ones that's in the can, that's in the bucket, and that's in the jar. And they take you around to the other side of the same plant. Remember, I'm still in sleeper. Keep your truck in sleeper. Just drive it real slow. You stay in sleeper, you go around to the other side of the plant, you back your trailer in, they load you up with the packaged peanuts. And guess where it's going? Back down to Bainbridge, Georgia, to the exact same plant I picked up from. And going back down, they paid $22.50. So it's $24.50 going up, $22.50 coming back down. That's what's called sub-dedicated freight. Why? Because it's not contracted. As long as you show up and you in line, and you got a clean trailer, they will give you that load. So they run them out of there all day long, 5 days a week. Okay? That's good paying freight. That's good paying freight, okay? You know, that's the kind of freight, and you can run 3 of those loads per week. 1 week you have 2 loads going up, 1 load coming down. Next week you have 2 loads coming down, 1 load going up. Every other week you would spend your weekend in Chicago. The other week you spend it at home, because Bainbridge is only what? 22 miles from here. I run up to Bainbridge, pick my load up, run up there, run back down, run back up. I'll spend the weekend in Chicago. Run back down, run back up, run back down. I'll spend my weekend here in Tallahassee. Okay? That's how it's done. That's the stuff you're going to be looking for once you get to a point to where you got yourself and you're finding yourself some of that sub-dedicated freight and some of that stuff. And you got to look for that type of stuff. I'm going to tell y'all who to go to find a lot of that stuff. Contact any Warner broker. Warner broker has a bunch of sub-dedicated freight where it's not contracted, but if you got a good clean carrier and you show up, they'll book the load. You can book that kind of freight with Warner. They have a lot of those. Warner has a lot of that bottled water freight. Those bottled water deals running here in Florida. Now, a lot of drivers tell you that they don't want to run in Florida because they can't make no money. That's a lie. Okay, I actually ran here in Florida where you run a load from Live Oak to Alachua. It's a bottled water run from Live Oak to Alachua, sub-dedicated. Live Oak to Alachua. They run loads all day long. You can run several of them if you can do it. You pick up a Live Oak. It pays $680 to run to Alachua. That's only about 35 miles, people. 35 miles from Live Oak, Florida to Alachua, Florida. Right? So you run it there. You drop it off in Alachua. You drop that load. You can either deadhead back to Live Oak and pick up another load and run it again, or you can wait and pick up a load from Alachua going down to Tallahassee. I chose to pick up a load from Alachua going down to Tallahassee. Why? Because I live in Tallahassee. And I want to come home. I like to sleep in my own bed sometimes. That load is running what? 104 miles. No, 79 miles. I take that back. That load's running about 79 miles. No, hold up. My bad. Let me go back. The Live Oak to Alachua is about 70 miles. My bad. Thank you. The Alachua to Tallahassee is 104 miles. All right. The Live Oak to Alachua was paid $680 for that 70-mile run. From Alachua to Tallahassee, that load was paying $820 for a 104-mile run. Okay, and when I dropped the load in Tallahassee, I would go home and chill, sleep, get up the next morning, and deadhead where? Back to Live Oak, because from Tallahassee to Live Oak, it's 35 miles. I did that for about 5 months straight. That's all I did. That's all I did. And you do 680 plus 820. Add that together. I mean, that was per day. That was per day. Okay? Really almost $4,000 or $5,000 a week. Renting in my home state. Never being more than 100 miles away from my house. So, can you find loads like that? Yes, you can. So that statement about that's the hardest part, no, it's not. No, it's not. Not once you know what you're doing. Okay? Now, if you're not communicating with your carriers, if you're not developing any type of relationship with your carriers, if you're not trying to train your carriers, yes, you're going to find this job to be very hard in finding loads because you're cultivating your carrier to have that mindset. Well, all it takes, the load just pay us $7 a mile or $10 a mile or $12.50 a mile. No, you ain't going to find no loads like that because that's BS. Okay? That's BS. So get rid of the BS carriers. Get yourself some carriers that want to run and make money Because if Charles does it, I can do it. If Jason can do it, Mr. Gutierrez can do it. Okay? Some of the new guys can do it that just came on, they're doing it. If all these people can do it, but then you got people telling me, okay, well, it's hard to find loads. Well, how in the world are all these trucks running up and down the road every day if it's hard to find loads? You see, that don't even make any sense. Okay? If you're going to think that way, have some real evidence to back that up, because that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't have the stuff you have to eat and all the other stuff if the loads were hard to find. So loads are being ran every day. Trucks are running it. I guarantee you go out there on that interstate, you can tell me you can sit there and count. I can count 1,000 trucks in the count of a day. I guarantee you. It don't matter what day I go out there and sit by the interstate, I can count 1,000 trucks running up and down that road every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, if that's the case, ain't no way in the world freight is hard to find. Freight is the easiest thing to find. And to me, that's the easiest part of this business, is finding freight. The hard part, now I'm telling you the hardest part of this business is getting a shipper to sign on with it. Now, if you want something hard, call up some shippers. I guarantee you, you'll make about 700 calls before you even get one to pick up the phone and say, yeah, I'll give you, and when they do, they say, you got 2 minutes. That's the hardest part of this business. You are a broker, and you're trying to connect with shippers. That is the hardest part of this business. I don't care what you say, hands down. You can say anything you want to. When you start cold calling shippers, you'll make 700-800 calls before you even get one to say, yeah, let me put you in touch with the shipping manager. And when you get in touch with him, chances are he's going to tell you, you got 2 minutes. Impress me. if you ain't ready, guess what? You done. Now, James says, yes, there are loads out there, but if your carrier finding the same loads you are, or better, why pay you 10% on the load you give? Because, why not? Okay? Why not? Your carrier, carriers really don't have time to be looking for loads. I mean, you got some carriers out there that look and find their own loads, right? And you do. You got carriers that have dispatchers that find them loads. But remember, that's why you send them the profile sheet. You send them the profile sheet, they give you a criteria, right? You're only looking for the loads that they give you a criteria. Now, if the criteria is unrealistic, I tell a carrier that's bullshit. I don't mind saying that. Because at some point, you got to get to the point where you got to really put these, you got to make them be realistic. Because like anything else, a lot of times they just blowing smoke. They talk a bunch of BS. Okay? So when you get a profile sheet and that profile sheet comes back, well, I need $7 per mile, guess what? I ball it and throw it in the trash. That carrier's never going to hear from me again. And guess what I do? I get back on the phone because this is a numbers game. I get back on the phone and I keep calling until I find a guy like what? The guy that I just talked to. Not less than what? 25 minutes ago. And I got him on the first call. Okay, so All this stuff about, well, my carrier said, then forget that carrier. Don't worry about that carrier. That's like making phone calls and people telling you, no, I'm not worried about the no's. I'm only concerned about the yeses. Okay? So this is a numbers game. It is a numbers game. And you got to play the numbers. And you keep playing them until you get enough numbers of the guys that want to run the way they're supposed to run, and then that's where you make your money. You just keep them moving. Are you going to satisfy everybody? No. Because you got a lot of unreasonable people in this business. Okay? So don't let anybody fool you to thinking that the lows are not there. Lows are out there. Lows are out there. And they're good paying lows. Okay? But you got some of these guys, they want the get rich quick lows. That's what they want. And this is not that type of business. Okay, this is not a get rich quick type of business. You got to put in work. You got to put in work. All right. Abdul is right. They can't search while they sleep or drive. Okay. He said, what's this? 3 appointments may not allow them to search. Okay, yeah, at the best time to search. And 4 eyes are better than 2. Exactly. Because remember, and Abdul, and you're exactly right. Because all you're doing is you're giving these guys another option. Another option. That's all you're doing. And if you don't give them that option, they're never going to have the chance to choose that option with you to make money. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. You can either think like that or you can think like a Charles Monday. Charles Monday came in, and I always refer back to him because he's the perfect example. He came in, Charles will tell you himself, he was hard-headed. He'll tell you himself, he wanted to do it his way. He wanted to do it his way. He tried that for about 31 days. Didn't sign up not one carrier. Charles is hard. But he called and he said, look, I told him to try it my way for a week. It didn't even take him 24 hours. He called me back the very next morning around 11 o'clock. Hey, I just signed up 7 carriers. Okay? Look. This is good stuff, all right? James says, like Calvin said, you have to know lanes and what's out there in the lane, like the peanuts and water run. That's true. You do, but that comes with experience. But you don't have to know that. You don't have to know that. You can get on load boards. I mean, look, with all the load boards that's in the back office site, I mean, you got access to at least 5, 6, 7 load boards that are paid load boards. You got access to another 91 free load boards. You ain't telling me out of all them load boards, you ain't going to find some good paying freight. You are. Charles does it every day. Jason does it. Mr. Gutierrez does it. Mr. Dolan Rodriguez does it. All these guys find great paying loads every day. Okay? I have a young lady, what's her name? What is her name? Matter of fact, she's booking so much freight, she don't even come to the chat groups no more. She just started doing her thing, and all I see is invoices coming from her. So they're finding freight. So if all these people are finding freight on load boards, they don't have some type of special line to dedicated freight. No, they're finding them on load boards. Yes, on load boards that are in the back office. Charles Monday said he finds loads all the time. Finds loads on trucker pads. He finds loads on some of the free load boards. Okay, so don't buy into this. I can't find freight. Yeah, I mean, if you go in there and you're on these, searching for 20 minutes or so, and you can't find what you want, okay, fine. Right? But this is work. This is work. This is not get rich quick. And if you think this is get rich quick, you're in the wrong business. I know we have a lot of people that come over from the home business stuff, and people that have never been in this industry, or people that come over from make money from home or legitimate home businesses, that type of stuff. And you probably work multi-level marketing and network marketing. This ain't that. This is real. This is real. This is a real industry. This ain't network marketing. This ain't multi-level marketing. It's not that. And if that's what you're looking for, go somewhere else. Okay? This is real money. It's real money. Okay? I mean, people make good money in this industry all the time. I'm talking 6 figures. Some 7 figures. Think I'm lying? Play with it. Okay? All right. Any other questions? I need somebody to ask me a question before we get ready to get out of here. I think we've covered some good stuff today. I keep getting off track. My bad. Let me go and show you all where to find the carriers. All right. We've shown you how to find the actual trucker. The guy that's the owner-operator that's sitting in his truck, and you call them up and you want to pitch them. We've shown you where to find those guys at. Now I'm going to show you where to find the actual the carriers. If you're looking for the carriers, you're going to come down here and you're going to go to load boards, and you're going to find this right here. You're going to look for a quick transport solution. Now this is a free site, by the way, if y'all didn't know it. This is one of the free ones that we found, but this is not really a load board. They say it's a load board, but it's not really. It's more of a resource, site than anything else. I like it for doing for finding carriers and getting more resources. Okay, but you're gonna come down here. You're gonna click on this one, the one that has the trucks that are streaming up and down the road, kind of a blur. And you're gonna go down there and you're gonna click on it. And it's gonna take you over to his website. When you go to this website, you're gonna be looking for. You're gonna go here where it says resources. Now they do have a load board where you can search load. If you want to search their load board, they have a load board. But we're gonna show you how to use their resources thing to contact and find carriers. You're gonna click where it says resources. It's gonna bring you over to where it says trucking and freight logistics industry resources. You're gonna go scroll down here on this red tab. You're going to click where it says search trucking companies. Okay? You're going to click that right there, and you're going to pull it up. You're going to have search trucking companies right here. You're going to pull up what state you want to find the companies in. Let's just say, let's go for good old Georgia. Let's go to Georgia. All right? Don't worry about the city. Just go over here. Don't worry about the company. What you're really going to be looking for is how many trucks they have. Okay? I always tell people look for the ones that have 1 to 5 trucks. Because if you're trying to contact a carrier that's got 6 or more trucks, chances are they probably don't need your services because they wouldn't be able to support that many trucks if they didn't already have loads. A lot of times you find these carriers that got a lot of trucks, they have a lot of dedicated freight contracts with companies that they're already running for. So don't waste your time calling these carriers that have more than 10 trucks. When I was calling, I didn't call anything that was more than 5 trucks. So I stuck with the ones that said 1 to 5. So that's going to give you about a 95% chance of signing those guys up. Okay. Now you can search for different type of tractors you want. I just leave all of them in there for any type of tractors. And then for your operations, you always want to pick interstate. Okay. Why? Because interstate would mean they can go across state lines. They can pick up across state lines. I don't tend to mess with guys that stay within the state. If you want to make a living off that, yeah, you can try it. But I mean, you're kind of limiting yourself on the options of loans you're going to find for guys that's just going to run within a certain state. Okay. Now, when you do that, you're going to click search. You're going to process it, and look what happens. It is going to pull up all the companies that match your criteria. All right, in the state of Georgia, for carriers that have 1 to 5 trucks who are interstate, you have 15,937 results. When you click on any one of these, we're just going to go down here and grab one. You're going to go down here and click on this one Empire. You click on that, it's going to pull up the information. It's going to tell you all about that carrier. This carrier has 2 trucks. Tractors, he owns 2 tractors. Trailers, he owns 2 trailers. Total drivers, 2 drivers. This is DOT number, MC number, all the information. Okay? Here's all their contact information. Here's your phone number and their fax number. who they are, what their address is, what type of operations they are, interstate. Come on down, you can pull up their insurance and their inspection reports, if I'm not mistaken. Empire State Trust Fund and Sales location on Google Maps. You know, different stuff down here that you can pull up on them and things like that. All right. So there you are. That's how you get the trucking company. You have some number, you can call them up and you hit them with the same pitch. Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. I'm with the National Network of Independent Dispatchers, with the largest independent network of dispatching freight brokerage firms in the country. More than 1,700 plus firms all working together to find you high-paying freight. Let me ask you a question. How much money do you need to move your truck? I mean, that's it. Learn that pitch and learn how to pitch it. Okay? That's the key. Learn how to pitch it. Okay? Sign up your carriers and then find loads. Plain and simple. Now, if you do want to start finding some dedicated freight, call up brokers and ask them, hey, Mr. Broker, how you doing? You know, hit them with the same pitch. My name is such and such. I'm with the largest network of independent dispatchers in the country, more than 1,700 dispatch firms strong. Here's what we're doing. We're reaching out to a broker because we're trying to. We have like I said, we have a lot of firms. Each one of our firms, you know, some of our firms have 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 trucks, or 20 carriers signed on with them, and we are in need of dedicated freight. If you have a lot of dedicated freight that you need to move, we can help you move it. So, is there any dedicated freight that you may be able to turn us on to a network of our size so we can help you move the majority of that freight on a continuous basis? Use the power of the network. That's the reason for the network. Okay? Remember, you have to think outside the box to make this business successful for you. Don't just get stuck in thinking one single-minded, a narrow beam, and just thinking one way. You have to. We give you all access to all these tools and resources. They're only there to help you, and they're only going to help you if you are active and if you are using your own innovative thoughts and ways to expand your business. Don't think just because you got all the tools and resources, well, I'm just going to click this and click that to make money. No. No. Think about this business. Look at it. Find ways to make these tools and resources work in your favor. Okay? That's all we're saying. That's why you have all this stuff. Okay? That's why you have all this stuff. James said, on load boards and in the back office, can you call local small shippers to sign on as a carrier to get loads? You can call shippers to sign on as a dispatcher. You don't have to be a carrier. A dispatcher represents carriers. You can call the shipper and say, hey, Mr. Shipper, how you doing? I see here you all got a bunch of loads that you're trying to move. I can probably help you move about 25% of the load because I'm a member of a very large dispatchers network. More than 1,700 dispatch firms and brokerage firms strong. You know, some of our dispatchers have contracts with several trucking companies, and I'm pretty sure we can help you move at least 25 to 35% of your loads on a weekly basis. Now, if a shipper's got 5,000 loads, 25 to 35%, that's a lot of loads for them to move. That's going to help them out a lot. Now, because I am a dispatch firm and I'm not a brokerage firm, there's no need to have a contract. All I need for you to do is just send me over your list of loads, and we'll try to match them with our carriers to run those loads. And if you have any dedicated loads, we'd love to have those too. Use the power of the network. That's why you join. You join, look, what sets our platform aside from any other training platform out there? Everything that they have is just at face value. That's it. What they have is at face value. If they're teaching you lane rates, that's all you got. If they're teaching you terms, that's all they got. If they're teaching you rules and regulations, that's all you got. Okay? That's all you got. Anything further than knowing what that is and how to stay compliant, it doesn't help you any other way other than just that. Okay? With this platform, you have tools and resources that you can expand upon. So when we give you access to a zip code site where you can locate and connect with 19 million plus shippers, and you're also part of a network that works together, 1,700 firms strong, you all connect in a back office site, in a chat group where you can connect and talk to each other. Use that to your advantage to expand on your conversation when you're talking to a shipper to gain a leg up. Okay? Start thinking and not just cookie cutter, because this is not cookie cutter work. Okay? You got to use our entire network. You got to take everything you have before you. You got to take everything that we offer you. Look, I spent a year developing this. This is totally different than anything else out there. Okay? This is not a class where I sit and show you a chalkboard and I'm teaching you the same stuff that I learned in 1985. That's not what this is. Okay? This is a tool. Everything that we give you is a tool. It is a resource. And what do you do with tools and resources? You use them to what? Fix things, to build things, to create things. That's what this is. And when you figure that out, that's when you start making money. Charles Money, he figured that out. Not only did he start booking freight, but he developed his own platform. Jason Sonnettag, he figured it out. Not only is he only booking freight, but he found a niche within our platform to help other people to build their logistics sites. Mr. Elijah Williams, he figured that out. Not only is he booking freight, but he figured out that some people on here are not salespeople. He figured, well, I am a salesperson. Why don't I create within the platform a avenue for people to contract me to make the pitches for them, make the phone calls for them, to contact the shippers for them, and get them signed up with their dispatch agreement, and then I collect a percentage of the road fee whenever they book freight. Learn how to make use of the tools and resources. That's what we are. This is not a class. This is not a course. You are plugged into a whole bunch of tools and resources, and you get access to them for one fee per month instead of paying a whole bunch of money to access all this stuff separately. And if you learn how to use and apply your tools and resources, there's no way in the world that you cannot make money. All right, with that being said, we'll get ready to get up out of here because it's about time for us to go. And we're going to end it on that note. We got a couple of service announcements to make before we get out of here. I appreciate each and every last one of you all. James, Mr. Bernard, Charles, everyone, thank you all so much for attending our training today. My dog is looking at me like, hey, it's time to go for a walk. I don't know if I'm walking him or he's walking me. Read some of these last little bits of comments here. Colette says, Colette asked the question, what information do we have to confirm before contacting a shipper, i.e. their insurance, DOT, etc.? You mean the shipper's insurance? If you are a broker, now if you are a broker, you're gonna exchange what's called, you're gonna do a broker shipper contract. Okay, we have that in the back office for brokers. Okay, if you are a broker, now if you are a dispatcher, you don't need any of that. Because remember, a dispatcher is basically just a courtesy for shippers. You're offering them a free service. Why? Because the shipper's not paying you. The shipper does not pay you. You are paid by what? The carrier. So you are offering your service to a shipper for free. And if you're offering a free service, you don't need what? A contract or an agreement. All you're asking the shipper, Mr. Shipper, hey, because I'm a dispatcher, I get paid by the carrier. So my services to you are free. If you want us to see if we can help you book more freight, move more of your loads, just start sending me your your shippers list every morning. Here's my email. That's that. That's it. Stop making this harder than what it is. It really isn't that hard. Okay? So you don't really if you are operating as a dispatcher, you don't need any type of form or anything else for a shipper. Okay? Just let them know. Just shoot it over to my email. If they want to see something on who you are, give them access to. Give them the website, mydispatcher.org. If you have a website, give them your website. If you got your tax ID number and your business filing, give them that. Okay? Now, if you've got DOT numbers and all that type of stuff, give them that. But it's not necessary because you're not signing a contract with them. You offer them a free service. You're just offering to help them move more freight because their contract is going to be with the carrier when the carrier comes and picks up the load. The contract is not going to be with you. Right? Yes, they're going to have to approve that carrier, but that's between them and the carrier. Now, you can help expedite that by forwarding the paperwork back and forth, but that's what you do as a dispatcher. That's just a courtesy that you provide for your carrier, and your service up to the shipper is free of charge because you are paid by the carrier. Your contract is with the carrier. Okay? Mr. Khalid, I hope I answered that for you. James said, so I was planning to go do that this week, stop by and talk to the shippers. There you go. We got a thing in the back office where you can connect with every shipper in the country. You got to just stop by. You can connect with 19 million plus shippers. Okay, go up here where it says resources, tools and resources. This little thing here where you got the world with the shipping box and stuff, and there's the world at your feet. Click on that bad boy. That'll take you right over to the SIC code site. 19 million plus shippers. Click that bad boy, take you right on over. Put in what you're looking for. Let's see, change their format a little bit. Search more products, companies. Oh, did I click the one that said brokers? I might have clicked the one that said brokers. My bad. My bad. I might have clicked the one that said brokers. Yeah, I clicked the one that said brokers. Let me go to the one that says shippers. My bad. I clicked the wrong one. That's the one that says brokers. I wonder why they look different. Let me find the one that says shippers, and I will click the right one. There it is. No, okay, that's the one that says brokers, freight brokers, and then go to the one that says shippers. There it is right there. My bad. That's the one for the shippers. All right. When you get the one for the shippers, you put in what you're looking for. Let's say lumber. Click search. Look at all them lumbers. Look at all them shippers that ship lumber. On the category of lumber, you got 4,909 shippers. On the lumber and building materials, you got 108. All these, and this is just the first page. All right? So you got, I don't know how many lumber companies you got in this bad boy. But you click on that right there. You pull up one of them 4,000 lumber companies. Let's go here and just pick one at random. Let's say Coastal Plywood. Right, and click Coastal Plywood. Look at that right there. It gives you all the information. You can call them up, send them an email, go to their website, all that type of stuff. Now you come down here and you click a state. Let's click Mississippi, and it'll tell you what they pay carriers to move freight from their location down to Mississippi. They pay $75 a pallet. Partial flatbed, $380. No, $580 for a partial flatbed. Partial dry van, $640. Okay? And partial usually comes in 4 parts. Okay? So take that, multiply it times 4, you got a whole truckload. Look. We give you access to everything you need. Everything you need, you got access to it. Just learn how to make use of it. Get in your back office. Start clicking around on stuff, looking at stuff, reading over stuff. Figure out ways to make it work for you. That's why we give you the access to all the tools and resources. Refer back to this video if you want to get some helpful pointers on how to make it work for you. So some of the stuff I just told you all is very valuable, especially about how to contact shippers and contact these different shippers and brokers and get them to help you get better quality freight. Wouldn't that make sense to use that and how to use the network, your clout as a network to impress upon them the value of having a network working with you for free? Come on, really? All right, so because remember, a lot of you all are still under that mindset that you work for. No, you don't work for us. Okay, so stop treating this like you work for us. You are your own company, and start treating it like that. Start seeing yourself as running your own company, and start treating it like your own company. All we are is a resource. We are a tool and a resource that provides you a number of tools and resources that you don't get anywhere else, all for one subscription fee. Okay? All right. All right. So with that being said, we're getting ready to close it out. When you say part of a network, I am a bit lost as to what that means. Okay. Then you do realize that there are more than 1,700 members to this national network of dispatchers. That is all the students who have signed on to take our platform, who are paid to take our platform. Okay? We plug you all into that network. The chat group on Facebook, this chat group on Facebook, this is part of your network. This chat group on Facebook, this is also part of your network. You see here, when you pull up over here, these are all the members of this chat group. This is part of your network. All those people are within this chat group. They're all members of this network. That's a lot of people in the chat group. So when you go there and you ask a question, all these people are going to be able to see it and help you to figure out things. Now, that's just one chat group. We got another chat group on Facebook. All right? So that one got so full, we couldn't add any more to it. Here's the second chat group on Facebook. Now, it's not quite as full as the other, but it's getting there. But you got enough people in your network that you can use to bounce ideas off each other. You can help each other. You all help each other find loads. You help each other to make money. You learn from each other. That's what a network does. You're not in this by yourself. No other platform does that. Every other platform, once they're done with the class, you're on your own. But here you have a network. Not only that, you all come together under one website, really, because you all are operating from the same back office site, which is what we are right here, the National Dispatchers Network. Okay? So yes, you are part of a network. All right? Great. I'm glad you were able to get that and understand that. So you are part of a network. You are part of a huge network. And that's the great thing about what we are offering, okay? So, and this is your network right here. These are all the people who are within this network. And I haven't even added them on here because I got to figure a way to add the rest of them because they say I reached my limit on this website to add this many people on there. So I'm trying to figure out a way to create a second part of this where we can add the rest of them to our directory, okay? All right. James says, I'm in Tennessee and there's a lot of local shippers around my house. Then, see, you got an advantage right there, James. Go out and talk to some of these guys. Take your tablet with you. Show them. Pull up this website. Show them this. And look, I don't care what you say. This is going to be impressive to any shipper. When they realize that okay, this many dispatch firms can help them move their loads. Why? Because when they start sending you the loads, you can share it with all the other dispatchers, and guess what? If any of them move those loads, you're going to get 2.5% of the load fee, so you still get paid on them. Because you can't move all the loads yourself, right? So use the power of the network to impress shippers. All right? Mr. Williams, his name is Elijah Williams. He spells it a little bit different. Go to the chat group and look for Elijah Williams. And he is the gentleman who will conduct the sales calls for you and get people signed up under your Okay? All right. Let's wrap this up. I thank everybody. I appreciate all of you all for tuning in. As always, it's been great. We're going to be back here again next Saturday. Same back channel, same back time. Before we go, let me go over some stuff here with you all real quick before we go. As you all know, RBBS Logistics Learning Center is the parent company of a nonprofit. Our nonprofit is going to be, our proposed nonprofit is the Young Entrepreneurs Development Centers. It is an after-school and summer program for at-risk teens in lower-income neighborhoods to provide them access to all the tools and resources and everything they need to become successful business owners and entrepreneurs. We're going to be taking them out on field trips to visit different businesses locally and learn how those businesses operate. We're going to be taking them into banks and lending institutions. Presidents and vice presidents are going to be showing them how banking works, what they need to do to get their credit right, and how to build their credit, and how to submit, and how to get access to the financial resources and services they need to power their businesses. We're going to have guest speakers, business owners come in and mentor them, show them how to start a business, show them how to fill out a corporate
NFL football game.
Show them how to do all the stuff that they need to know how to do. We got somebody over here talking about a football game. I need you to kind of mute yourself. We don't want to know about the football game right now. But we're going to be showing them all that type of stuff. Okay? So, and we intend to have for them the best technology and equipment in order to be able for them to be able to do the things that they need to do and be able to be successful. Okay, so that's what this is all about. Okay, that's what the Young Entrepreneurs Development Center is about. Hold on here. There we go. Get rid of that for a second. But that's what this is about. What's my page? Okay, but I want to pull up that. And why am I stuck on this right here? Post. Did I lose my internet or not? Oh, there it is right there. My bad. Okay, there it is. But that's what this is all about. We want to provide for them the right equipment, have the tools, resources for them to, so that they'll be able to, be able to learn and do the things that they need to do. Because we need to start preparing our children and the next generation to be more than just workers, than to work just for minimum wage. And if you feel like you can help out with this, I would appreciate it. Try to spread the word to anybody who's seeing us on YouTube, anything or whatever that may be. Go over to our page, which is I'm going to give you the page address here, in case if you want to know what it is. AJ, if you don't stop biting me, my dog is biting my hand, everybody. He wants to go out and play. Give me a second here, and I'll post this up everywhere. That is our Facebook page for the Young Entrepreneurs Development Center. And when you get there, if you feel like you want to support us financially, there is a GoFundMe page that we have that is set up to do that on. I've already started the GoFundMe off with about total. Actually, I put a total of about $500 because I've got two GoFundMe pages. I've got 200 on one, and I put 300 on the other one. Over the last 3 years, I personally have probably invested about 20 to 25 grand into this project. So, but we need $300,000. We're giving ourselves a year to raise that money to be able to start our first pilot program here in Tallahassee, but we plan on duplicating this across the country in lower income neighborhoods. And this is a nonprofit. So we appreciate any support that you can lend towards that, because if we keep teaching our kids to run in place, they're never going to get in a place in life. We need to understand that. Okay? All right. But that's enough said about that. We appreciate that. And that GoFundMe link will be in this, will be in the link of information when this is put on YouTube and in our back office and things like that. So we appreciate you all so very much. So very, very much. Let me go ahead and put this on our Facebook page. Our live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Those who are tuning in with us live on Facebook, we really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you all back here next week. And if you all want to lend support to our nonprofit, please do so by going to our Facebook page there and finding that link to the GoFundMe page and give just whatever you can. $3, $30, whatever the case may be. If you can match what I've given, great. If you can only do 10% of what I've given, that's great. I appreciate you. If you can only do 1% of what I've given, I still appreciate you so very much. If you can do more than what I've done, please do so. If you can afford that. Now, if you have problems paying your bills, please do not send any money. If you have problems paying your rent and you're not sure where your rent money is going to come from, don't send us money. Okay, don't do that. Okay, but if you are buying beer, you definitely can afford to send us money. If you are buying cigarettes, you definitely can afford to send us money. If you are buying concert tickets to go see Beyonce, Carly B, Lil Wayne, or whoever that is, and they got plenty of money already, you can afford to kind of help out, Young at this team. So just kind of keep that in mind. Thank you all so much. I hope to see y'all back here next week. I hope you all learned a lot from the show today. Booking Freight from Home show featuring myself, Calvin Butler. We'll see y'all back here next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Y'all have a great day. Later.